fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchdown. Touchback.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. I'm going to run you.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Here's Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go again. Pull up for a second. Mike 54. Here we go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
First down, Seahawks.
Go team. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the run.
They'll run on first down. Carson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. Dances by him. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, defense. 4 down. Deeper. 56.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From midfield now, here's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Right there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Derrick Henry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 64. 59.
Back to throw, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 23 yards the pickup there.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And now a carry here for their fullback. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
This is it. 19. 54. Right 54. Yeah.
From the gun on third, Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14.
First down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. 54.
On first down, it's Grant. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Oh, you got deep? 36.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Check. Lucky. It's hot.
Watson. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Throwing is Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Penny hit, and the ball is jarred free. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble. From what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
56.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Mike's 56. Let's go, D.
On second down, it's Carson, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Squeeze, squeeze, double, double.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's now 3rd down.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike.
Let's make these babies cry all the way.
Whoa.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. A first update now from Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now it's Carson. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
56 the mic. 56 is the mic.
This is Carson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, steps away to his left. And I think the ball's out. And the Texans scoop it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mike's 54.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, one set. Line 54. Nice, sweetheart. And let's go.
Throwing again is Watson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
54, right there.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
At the 29-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
56, Mike, 56. Hey, come on, up.
Play action. Now Wilson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. One receiver left, 2 to the right. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
56, Mike, 56.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Shit. Hey, 24. Hey.
Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
Hey, let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Come on, QB, come on. You go tight. You got tight. You got
A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
Out of the gun, Watson. And caught by Henry. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Derrick Henry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check pass, check pass.
Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
36 power.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Wilson now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
56 to Mike, boy. 56.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On first down, it's Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Good play.
56, Mike, 56.
Watch the boot. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Here we go. 12.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on second down. Wilson, he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short.
Brings up fourth down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Whip. Watch the whip. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Here's Grant. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun, Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw again. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll run with Henry. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
He's set. Like an egg. Right by 4.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Bang, 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 bang.
Now a give, right side. Grant. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. They will run with Grant. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. It's our time.
On third and short, going with their tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Texans, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field.